Welcome back. We just checked out the COVID-19 update. Like we are all aware, we are currently in the second wave and we cannot stop re-emphasizing on the need to stay safe. We cannot stop talking and creating awareness about this particular pandemic. And with us in the studio right now is a consultant physician. Moving on to our second conversation, we will be talking more about the COVID-19 situation in Nigeria, particularly in the FCT. And with us is Dr. Salihu Ibrahim, Kwaifa. Welcome to the program, sir. It's a pleasure having you here. Well, we just checked out the updates of COVID-19 in Nigeria, in the FCT. But as a consultant physician, I would like you to, still tell us something that I'm sure a lot of people know, but for benefit of doubt, for those who are not aware, tell us how this disease can easily get into our bodies. Let's start from there.
Okay, let me begin by giving a small of the background on the COVID pandemic as a whole. Currently, as you are aware, we have over 96 million people affected worldwide, and the burden of the disease is more in USA. It's the number one with over 25 million people affected, and then followed by India, then Brazil, then Moscow, the UK, and the rest. In terms of death caused by this virus, USA has the highest burden of death, about 400, just a little bit about 400. Recently, that's about 2 days ago, while Brazil is about 211,000 people. USA 400,000 people dead. India having the highest burden in terms of infected people, but the death rate in India is just 152. Yes, and most of they have over 10 million people recovered. So that recovery is at number one. People recovered in India, more than 10 million. They have about 10.5 million infected, but over 10 million have recovered. So, and they have death of 155 roughly, and so they have little people, it's just little infection now, and they have started their vaccine. So when we come to Nigeria or Africa, the figure is the burden of the disease, COVID, is more in South Africa than in Nigeria. But in Nigeria, we have, so far, we have about 113 infected. The burden
113,000
infected. The burden is more in Lagos. Then with 41,000, then FCT with about 14,000, then Plateau State, then Kaduna State, then Rivers, then Oyo State, and then the rest. Yeah, what we are seeing in this new outbreak, or the second wave, so-called second wave, is that for the past 2 weeks, we have been recording over 1,000. You know what caused lockdown? It was just about 600 or 800 thereabout. But this one, it had been persistently over 1,000, with little fluctuation below 1,000. But for 2 weeks, like the day before yesterday, it was 1,600 and above. Yesterday, it was 1,300. But one good thing about it, the mortality, the death in Nigeria is just about 1,400 death. Many people recovered. And COVID as a whole is a respiratory infection. It affects the respiratory tract. The respiratory tract started from your nostril down to the throat, down to the lungs.
So that brings me to the initial question: how can it get into our bodies?
Yes, when you inhale, there are various ways of inhaling, either direct or indirect. The direct one is you have touched a surface and anything that contains the virus, droplet of the virus, and then you put it in your eyes or your nose or your mouth, because there is connection. The eyes, the nose, the mouth, they meet at the throat. So about to gain entry. Then there are special cells that we have in our respiratory tract and also the lungs, that this virus recognizes and attach itself. So when it gets these special cells or receptors, it attaches itself and then it propagates from there. So majority of people are asymptomatic. They don't have any symptom. Majority. In fact, there are also that show about 80% are asymptomatic. But in US, it's about 50% asymptomatic. So that means you carry the virus, even headache you don't have. But you can now spread the virus either through coughing or when you are talking. It can come through as droplets, saliva talking, when you cough or when you sneeze. And that's why it's no good to stay without masks. And if you are staying, give some distance, at least 2 meters, where the droplet will not reach. And all the surfaces that if you cough or you sneeze, it has to be clean with antiseptic, so that somebody will not come and put his hand and get it. So masks, distancing, overcrowding, because even common talking, as we are talking, some droplet of saliva, is coming out. And if you are infected, you can infect the person. And you don't know who and who will develop symptoms. No, we develop symptoms. Because it develops so many things. Whether that particular person is having some underlying disease that makes him vulnerable to this severe infection. You don't know.
Yeah. So now we are in the second wave, like I mentioned earlier. Nigeria is in the second wave, and there is information that the new virus now is mutated. It's it has developed some kind of characteristics and all. Now, as a physician here, of course, I'm sure you're aware of this information. Can you just tell us some of the characteristics of the mutated coronavirus?
Yes, we don't know whether the mutated virus has hit Nigeria or not, because we don't have facilities to identify whether we have the mutation or not. Okay. Even the US, they just saw it recently. But the mutation started in the UK, United Kingdom, Britain, started there, and also we have some mutation in South Africa. So this mutation, the virus itself, the original virus, coronavirus, is an RNA virus. These RNA viruses are highly unstable. They can mutate. In the past, there were some mutations, but those mutations were not of any significance because they don't change the outcome or the consequence of the disease. But this very one, it shows some characteristics which made the scientific community a bit scared, because this mutated variant of the virus is 70% more infectious than its parent virus, and it tends to affect children more severely than the original virus. The original virus is milder in children. Most of the children, 80 to 90% are asymptomatic. They don't show symptoms. Only few, less than 10% of them show symptoms. But this virus tends to be severe among children. But the good thing about it is there's no evidence so far that this mutated virus is not substitutable to our current vaccine. What I mean is, this vaccine we are using, it's effective. It's effective on this virus. So that's the good news. But you can spread it faster. So, and the way it's faster, and it didn't show any in terms of outcome, it didn't show any difference with the parent virus. So it's not, if it catches you with double symptoms, the symptoms are not severe than the original virus, but it can catch a lot of people very fast. Let me use the layman language. I don't want to use the technical terms.
True, yeah, especially as a lot of people may be asymptomatic and will not know, and they will spread it.
Yes, so that's why you need to take the universal precautions.
Yes, which
avoid overcrowded.
Wear your face mask.
Keep distance. Frequent washing of hands with running water and soap.
Yeah, or use sanitizer.
Soap is the best. But people tend to love sanitizer. Sanitizer works actually. When there's no water and soap, use sanitizer.
Yes.
So you use sanitizer in the place of soap and water. Running water, tap.
Yes,
with soap.
Yeah.
Best. The virus is highly fragile. It's highly fragile. The moment you wash your hand with soap, with running water, you are done.
Okay. That is one of the key advice there. Immediately you wash your hands with soap and running water for at least 20 seconds, I believe. You are kind of safe.
If that's not, you use sanitizer.
But
the most important thing about overcrowding, and when you are with people, keep distance. And people should be mandated. Mandated to wear their masks.
Now, before we let you go, I want to know, is there hope for the world? Now that the virus is spreading, it's mutating, a lot of people are asymptomatic, they don't even know they're spreading the disease and all. Is there hope in terms of vaccine and any other possible solution?
Yes, there's a lot of hope. People actually are really keen into all this campaign. Now, a lot of, it's all the elite. You hardly see in Abuja now. Most elite, you see them, you see everybody wearing masks, even in the market, a lot of people. But a lot of people down there, they don't even believe that this virus is something serious. So they don't wear the masks. But a lot of educated people, you see them with their masks, even in their cars, you see them with the masks. So that means people are really reading, and they are also listening to all this campaign people are doing, and both mainstream media and the online media that do a lot of campaigns all over. I know now world is a global village. Whatever happens elsewhere, you easily get it here. So there's hope because the vaccine is here with us. The vaccine is highly effective when you get it, but before you stop using your mask and washing your hands, you have to vaccinate about 70 or 80% of the population because you can achieve herd immunity. Herd immunity is a level of immunity in which people will attain it in the community, and the virus will be very, very low. So when everybody is immune, only few people are not immune, the virus will die naturally. So you have to continue immunizing people, and the people, even if you are immunized, you have to use the masks because you won't get the disease. But you can infect others. Because vaccine works by you develop protection. So the virus will come to you, the infection will come to you, but your body now will attack it. So as it comes to you, you can also spread.
True.
Yeah, that is it. So people have misunderstanding that if I use vaccine, I will still get infected. Yes, you get infected, but no disease. You won't get the disease.
Yeah,
but
because your body will fight it.
Yeah, your body will fight it.
All right. Thank
Yeah.
you very much, Dr. Salihu Ibrahim Kwaifa, for coming to talk to us about the COVID-19 update. Now we know that the virus is mutated. A lot of people are asymptomatic and are definitely spreading this virus without their knowledge. So what do? Stay safe. Wear your mask. You're not just wearing it to protect yourself, but you may just be wearing it to protect somebody else if you are carrying the virus. That is all we have for you on today's conversation about our COVID-19 situation in Abuja, in FCT, and the world at large. We will be right back with more interesting segments on this program. Good morning, Abuja.